Welcome to the show. I am Michael E. Hadaway. Right now, we are standing at the meridian of the year. It is the peak of light, that precise transition point where the days are at their longest, but the descent into darkness immediately begins. There is an old physical reality to this. The sun reaches its absolute height, hangs for a fraction of a second, and then, without drama, the light begins to pull back. Most men handle this kind of transition poorly. They wait for a perfect season to start doing the work. They wait for things to calm down, for the winter to pass, or for the summer schedule to open up. But the seasons do not wait. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself of this in his journal by lamplight. Nothing holds its peak. The wave rolls in, it hits the shore, and it recedes. If you are waiting for a moment of static perfection before you build a life you respect, you are waiting for a ghost. For nearly 30 years in behavioral health and personal development, I have sat across from men who were trying to manage their lives in scattered, fragmented pieces. They had their spiritual lives in one bucket, their physical health in another, and their work-life balance completely separated from who they were at the kitchen table. It does not work. The pressure splits you down the middle. That is why, today, we are officially relaunching the Iron Strengthens Iron Brotherhood as a unified structure. No more scattered pieces, no more jumping from one self-help book to another, or collecting podcasts like trophies. We are bringing the entire operating system under one roof, the ALIVE code. Awareness, liberation, integrity, vitality, and endurance. This is not about a temporary boost, it is about a permanent posture. Let us be blunt about where we are. If you are listening to this and feeling the weight of a drift, if you look at your calendar and your bank statement and realize your stated values do not match your practiced values, that is information, not a verdict. You do not need to write a long story explaining how you got here. You do not need to apologize. You just need to return. The return is the practice, and the work begins today. Now, when you look at this newly unified house of Iron Strengthens Iron, you will see two distinct doors at the front. Two entries. The first door is the Stoic path, grounded in 23 centuries of rigorous training, designed to keep your judgment clear and your character intact when life hits hard. The second door is the Stoicism with Faith path, built for Christian men of faith who want to deepen their relationship with God, study Scripture, and live out their God-given purpose with boldness with Stoicism. Different entries, yes. But here is the critical part. They lead to the exact same room, the same brotherhood. We do not separate men who are trying to build character. A Stoic seeking temperance and a man of faith seeking spiritual discipline are running toward the same standard of maturity. They need the same heat. They need the same friction. We have quietly dismantled nearly every space where men once grew together. What did we replace them with? A screen, a feed, and an empty command to man up in isolation. But iron left alone does not strengthen. It rusts. Weak men compete with one another because their egos are fragile. Strong men build each other up. The moment you stop seeing other men as competition and start seeing them as allies, that is the moment you level up. True growth requires an integrated community where you are checked, tested, and held accountable. It requires a brotherhood covenant, a shared promise that binds us to growth and refuses to let us drift. It requires daily practices, 7-day and 30-day challenges, and direct mentorship from men who have walked further down the path. You cannot do this work alone. Pride tells you that you can, but pride is just dopamine talking. And dopamine loves a guy who fantasizes about future success without doing the hard work today. So here is your invitation at the meridian of the year. Step through the door, choose your path, whether that is the Stoic operating system or the Christian faith journey, but do not step through it alone. Identify one man in your life who is drifting, one brother who is carrying a load he was never meant to bear alone. Send him the link to this brotherhood. Bring him into the forge with you. The question is not whether you are ready. Nobody is ever ready. The question is whether you are willing. Sign the covenant. Join the group. Let us find out what happens when we stop talking about change and actually start doing the work. As iron strengthens iron, one man strengthens another. I will see you on the inside.